Okay, we should be back. I was streaming at a very high bit rate, and it shouldn't look too much worse. Multi-sampling? Are you serious? You think my WoW client is causing this? No, it's my internet. It was hiccuping. Oh, they actually have like a full map here. They didn't used to have this. Okay. Still laggy? One sec here. Yeah, it's the internet. Ah, that sucks. I wonder what's up. Sorry for the black screen. It's just it's me alt-tabbing. Huh. Well, we'll leave it. Hopefully it'll work itself out, because it's not, I mean, it is on my end, but it's something I can't control. The internet just started doing that. I had this problem before. It got better. And well, we'll hope it, I hope it works itself out. Yeah, when it goes to black screen, it means I alt-tab. That's all that means. Dial-up master race. The way streaming works is that whenever, like, say if you're like, I was streaming at like 5,000 kilobits a second. If you go, if your internet like starts hiccuping really bad, and you know, you can't handle 5,000 kilobits a second, you'll start dropping frames, and that's what was happening.
All I ever wanted was to study.
Here they come. I probably should keybind Pestilence, though. I don't know to what, though. Maybe Y or something like that? Some key I'm not using. Maybe Shift V. That would make sense, because V is Outbreak, and Shift V would be Pestilence. I wouldn't be totally opposed to that. I'm not saying that my keybinds are perfect. I'm not saying that, like, I couldn't improve on them. It's just, it just hits a point to where it starts to get, like, you know, if you start taking the game really seriously, yeah, it makes sense to keybind pretty much everything that you use. But I am not taking this game very seriously, as you can see, because I'm running Mount Hyjal. If I was taking the game seriously, I'd probably be in Battlegrounds right now, or trying to gear up more in for PvE. But no, I'm not. I'm running old raids for fun. Is it still lagging really bad? I cut my my bit rate that I'm streaming in half. I was streaming at like 5K. I cut it down to like 2,500, which is a major difference. But 2,500 is still decently high. So, if does the stream look any different to you guys as far as quality? What I was streaming at was like an insanely high bit rate. Seems fixed. No lags. Good. Yeah, because I lowered it to 2,500 so that, like, if something happens, like, and if my internet lags just a little bit, it won't drop any frames. It'll only drop frames if it lowers under if my upload lowers under 2,500. What was happening earlier is it would load to like 3,000, and it would cause the stream to like lose frames. A little bit of compression. So you're seeing a little bit of compression. The grass is mushy when you move. That's about it. Okay, so yeah, there's probably going to be just a little bit of compression. But honestly, most people stream at what I'm streaming at right now. What I had earlier was like pristine quality. Which I should be able to stream at, but if my internet hiccups, then, yeah. Can't do anything about that. You hate key bindings? Honestly, I like them. They're very, very convenient. I just give people a hard time when they like, you have to keybind everything or you suck. I remember when my buddy discovered keybinds back in vanilla when not many people were using them. And he was so proud of himself that he like even keybound his mount. I was like, that's cool, man. And I even keybound it like at that time because I wasn't using many keybinds. I was still clicking pretty much everything because like my entire guild was. We were doing well. But a lot of the PvPers are the ones that started keybinding stuff because, you know, you want that like Twitch efficiency, especially like as much as you can possibly get. And I think that's where it started. Like, when I started keybinding pretty much every one of my main skills is when I started PvPing in Burning Crusade. Doing a lot of arena, stuff like that. Because I remembered that I would duels these guys. And one of them was like, what do you have your Mortal Strike key bound to? I'm like, I don't have it bound to anything. He's like, you have to do that. And that's when I kind of realized, oh, well, time to start keybinding everything. And by everything, I meant my main skills. I still didn't keybind any of my cooldowns. I never really have. If I was insane in a PvP, I would probably do that. It would make sense. Because you want to squeeze every bit of efficiency you possibly can. We got an epic. Here's Ras. Come on. So he does Death and Decay as well. And it hurts really bad. But his Death and Decay is a different color. From what I remember. I don't remember exactly what his Death and Decay does. I just remember it's bad. You don't withstand it. There's his Death and Decay. Yeah, it hurts for like it's for like a percentage of your health. Ouch, man. That hurts really bad. And he channels it. That's what's up. I remember a lot of this stuff. Just I don't remember a lot of the specifics. Here's his Death and Decay. I gotta get out. Gotta get out. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. Stop it. Kill him. How annoying. Alright, we got bracers and pauldrons. These things actually look really cool. Those things look pretty awesome. You gotta admit. Okay. So now... there's actually a map in here now. That's awesome. There used to not be a map in here. Now we go all the way to north. It's crazy now because Hyjal is actually in-game since Cataclysm. And this is what it used to look like. I don't remember the exact boss order here. I just remember Archimond is last. Was I supposed to talk to someone? God, I knew it. I knew it. I knew I was supposed to talk to Jaina. I was just staring at chat, trying to see what you guys are talking about, and thinking, I can probably just move on. PvE stuff. Triggers. Talk to Jaina. Triggers event. Triggers moving on.
Shh, I'm trying to think here.
We are ready. Oh yeah, there's then the vampire dude. Man, I can't believe I forgot of this. Yeah, I totally forgot all of this. But it's all coming back to me now. Gotta kill me some ghouls. Gotta kill me some dudes. They're gonna drop me some loot, and it's all coming back to me. Wildstar is the WoW killer. Yeah. It's really weird to me to think how many times I've done this stuff, like soloed this stuff, and how I've forgotten it all. Just because of how inconsistently I've played. Like a 7-month break here, a 1.5-year break here, a 2-year break, you know, that type of stuff. Like, it had almost been 2 years since I had played whenever I streamed last. And then I only streamed for 3 weeks, so take like a 2-year break, play for 3 weeks, quit for 7 months. I guess I can see how I forgot everything in that time span. Because I'm sitting here criticizing myself, like, how in the world do I forget all this stuff? Then I think about it, and it's like, well, because you've only played 3 weeks in the past, 2.5 years. Then I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. It excuses me from MLG Pro status. At least in my mind. Not to these guys who keep calling me out. And it's gonna keep happening, I know it. Last time you played WoW was 2010. That was a while ago. Cataclysm came out at the very end of 2010. So you either played Cataclysm and then stopped immediately, or you didn't play Cataclysm. Warlords of Draenor Alpha? I guess that is out, isn't it? Wonder when they're going to release beta. Cataclysm and stopped immediately? Yep. It was hard for me to get into Cataclysm, except for the fact that I had friends that were still playing. Heck, my wife wanted to play with me. That was fun. My brother didn't play, unfortunately. I really wanted him to play with me, because he really gets into games like this. But I had friends that were playing. I had a guild started. It got huge. It was a big experimental guild. I think I've told you guys the story. It became the biggest guild on the server as far as numbers. And that's what I wanted. It was just an experiment of mine, and it was successful, to where I eventually sold the guild off to someone who... They bought my guild for $250,000 gold, because it was so large and they wanted that base, because I put so much work into it. That was a fun thing I did. If you can't tell, I really like projects. I really like creating something out of nothing. Like seeing how far you can take something. Hence my my YouTube channel videos, you know? No one was really doing that, and I was like, I wonder if you can do this. I'm pretty convinced, like, anything that you set your mind to, within, like, your own realm of wisdom, you can do it. It just takes work. You gotta put a lot of work into something if you want something awesome to come out of it. Creating the biggest Zerg guild on your server, or starting a 70 twink guild at level 80. You know, making YouTube videos, whatever, man. Gotta put a lot of work into it if you want it to do well. You can't rely on just like base talent, straight up luck, whatever, you know. You gotta put work into it, whatever it is. And that's how it goes, man. All I remember about this guy is that he lifesteals somehow. And I do not remember this guy's loot table. I tend to remember the bosses that drop really cool weapons. I think I've already said that. Like, if there's an awesome weapon on a loot table that I cared about at one point, dude, I totally remembered it. Whoever it is loot table. Archimon with that two-handed sword, a staff that someone mentioned. Ragnaros, his two-handed mace thing. Material, his Eye of Sulfuras. Bone Reaver's Edge. Man, all that kind of stuff I remember. Very, very much. Come out here, Raised Dead, bro. I'll take a friend. He's got a friend, I want a friend. If he can fight with a friend, I will fight with my friend. I'm making you want to spend money on WoW again? Well, man, I just paid $14.99 for a day or two of fun, nostalgic raiding, solo raiding. May do some other stuff too. We'll see. I'll get my $14.99's worth. I will get my $14.99's worth. Glimmering Steel Mantle. Awesome looking as well. That was awesome. And a Theron's Noose. Where's my Blizzard Bear? He disappears when I go in instances. I get sad. Come on, Bear. You're so fast. You're so fast. I'm looking at chat. I took a wrong turn. No. Woo. All right, Jaina, what's next? Until we meet again. Alright, so I think this is where the town gets sieged and you have to move on. Headless Horseman's Mount was so cool, man. Ooh, let's mine the ancient gem vein. These were so special to mine. Walking a 25-man raid, and you had one guy that was like, I'm the dude that mines this. I'm the officer, or whatever. All of this goes in the guild bank. Yeah, coming here solo, it's just like, man, I remember the days that this was serious business. Hyjal was no laughing matter. You showed up on Wednesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. and we went till 11 p.m. No matter what. I'd kind of stepped away from serious raiding whenever Black Temple and Hyjal were going on. I was very much playing by myself, doing my own thing. I've told you guys before, I think during that time period, and even up to the end of BC, I flew in circles around Terakar Forest and mined. That's what I did. Mined and prospected. I gathered like over 50,000 gold in Burning Crusade just by doing that, which was an insane amount. Like, if you were trying to buy that amount on like a China website, it was like way over $2,000. I mean, it was just it was an unbelievable amount of gold to have on one person. That's all I did was just mine. Okay, this is where you talk to Thrall. There he is. Like every single day, that's like all I did. Was just fly around and mine. And it was fun because I was on my own terms. Like I didn't have to like answer to any guild. I didn't have to answer to any like raid leaders, any officers. I was just doing my own thing. I was putting all of my energy into one focused thing, and man, I got rich in the game because of it. 50,000 gold. I think the most I got, I hit like 60-something thousand gold in Burning Crusade, and it was an insane amount until Daily Quest came out. When Daily Quest hit, my gold was instantly devalued, and that's when I started to realize that you can't count on anything in these type of games, because like all they have to do is just nerf one thing, add one thing, and then man, everything that you've worked for is just like gone. Like my gold, like if I wanted to like resell my gold at like a China website, I could have made like, you know, 2,000 bucks or something like that, which was illegal, but still. And then it went from being worth like 2,000 bucks to like 200 because Daily Quest just like made gold so much more available. So what I was doing was just completely devalued. Oh, that sucks so much. I think I even remember talking to a gold seller. At that point, he was like, "Oh my gosh, if you'd have presented me with this amount of gold, like, you know, 2 months ago, I mean, that was worth, you know, two grand." And he was like, "I can give you 250 for it." I'm like, "That sucks." Couldn't even count how many hours I put into it. I think I did the math back then, and like back before Daily Quest came out, the amount of mining that I did, I think I was earning about $1.50 an hour at the rate I was going, which is, you know, way less than minimum wage, but for playing a game, that wasn't that bad, right? And then whenever Daily Quest came out, it was worthless. It was completely worthless. This wave is over here. But yep, BC was my hardcore, like, solo. Actually, in vanilla, I did the Winter Spring Frost Saber grind as well. That was insane hardcore solo, relying on no one else. And I really enjoyed that. Like the feeling of accomplishing something by yourself without having to rely on other people. Very satisfying. The whole guild thing, you know, having to rely on other people, it feels very epic as well because you experience things together with people, which feels great. But the drawback is you have to rely on other people. So when other people's motivations change, when their attitude changes, yeah, you know, you guys that have been in guilds, you know what's up. Like, you end up just kind of wanting to go off by yourself and do your own thing because these guys don't care, you know. Man, I guess I just need to, like, what does this do? Okay, that pulls them all together like that. I see. I see. I don't have buttons like this bound at all because I never use these. But now that I'm using them, it's like, maybe I should have these bound. I've always thought of like keybinds in terms of efficiency. It's like, if I click something a lot, then it's going to be bound. If I like click something every once in a while, I don't bind it because it's like I almost don't take the mental energy to do that. But honestly, Pestilence I should bind to Shift V. I'm gonna do that now actually. while I'm thinking about it. What is that? WRTGV. Where is that? I should probably not do this in the middle of a raid. TGV. This is going to be Shift V. That makes sense. I should also probably bind Blood Boil, but I'll do that later. V and then Shift V. Ah, that feels good. Okay. Alright, guys. You guys are giving me a hard time about clicking certain skills. You're winning a bit by bit. Bit by bit. I feel the pressure. I feel it. But you know what? Sometimes pressure's good. Sometimes pressure pushes you. It was pressure that pushed me into binding keys in the first place. 7, 8 years ago. You know, World of Warcraft and MMOs in general, it's one of those, it's like the more you play them and the more you're into them, the more everything matters. The more keybinds matter, the more memorization of like rotations and everything's like matter because like you're putting more and more mental energy into it. I think it's just like anything. It's like, I realized that I'm a drummer, you know, like that's what I did before I ever started YouTube or anything. And because of YouTube, I haven't played drums in a long time. Like for real, like I have a drum set, but it's been like sitting like in storage in my parents' house for like several years now. And I picked up drumsticks the other day, and I was just like, man, like I haven't played drums in a long time. Like I'm really rusty. And I remember how much I enjoyed playing drums. And the reason why I stopped playing drums was just because I was focusing so much on like, well, singing video game songs, making YouTube videos, recording, and that didn't involve drums at all. And now it's like, man, I want to go get my drum set and set it up. But because I haven't thought about it, I have no place in my house to set them up. There's no place I could set them up without, like, them being in the way of stuff. Lag. LFM Ulduar Heroic. Baron's chat. Shush about the clicking. Oh no, I mean I don't mind. I mean people come in here and they're like, "Oh, you clicked the skill, you suck." I don't care.